Alright, and we should be live here on YouTube for the NASCAR Cup Series Jack Links 500 here from the Talladega Superspeedway. Cars are already rolling, and we are behind the schedule because we legitimately just got this set up about 5 minutes ago. So we are here and ready for this one. Hopefully you guys are too. Alright, there we go. Alright, just getting everything changed on over. But yeah, I gotta love having work the same day after we've got Cup Series racing going on. They're going through the starting grid right now. We are literally still getting stuff set up, so it'll be just a moment as we are getting this thing all set up. Alright, there we go. We are set up and ready for this one. Hopefully you guys are excited. I know I certainly am. Alright, there we go. They're already through the top 20 here. As per usual, we do have the top 10 up on the screen, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at that. Alright, so welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. They've got Regan Smith right now doing a piece here on pit road. Again, we're getting ready. Yeah, I wish I was a little bit more ready for this, but I'm having to work around what we got here. Alright, so welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We are here and ready for this one. Jack Links 500. There we go. Alright, got the and of course they have to show that clip last spring's race finish where we had the spin of Michael McDowell right at the very end. I thought McDowell was going to win that race by a decent chunk, but ultimately he came up short on that bad block at the end. Totally McDowell's fault, but also kind of have to try for something here. Alright, welcome on in though. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, a couple of drivers who struggled in qualifying. You got Larson, Stenhouse, and unsurprisingly, Shane Van Gisbergen. All three struggled in qualifying. So Larson's going to have a long way to come if he wants to win this race, although I don't know if winning is necessarily the goal versus finishing. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just getting this one set up and ready. Yeah, they haven't started yet. No, 3 o'clock is when they started all the pre-race stuff. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so yeah, they're going through the full starting grid again, and some of the other drivers that I think could be looking for some decent rises through the field if you're looking for guys to move up through the field. I'd look for guys like Hamlin in 13th, McDowell in 14th, Byron in 16th, Allmendinger and Bubba Wallace in 19th and 20th. Those would be a couple of my top picks for guys to kind of move from the mid-pack to the front of the pack. That would be a couple of my first picks for some potential movers. All right, there we go. All right, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. $81 degrees, I wish. Wow. And that's some really nice weather out there. 60 laps, 60 laps in each stage, and then 68 laps to the checkers. Pace cars off, and we are ready to go racing. All right, here we go. Field is in the hands of Todd Gilliland and Kyle Busch on the front row as we get ready to hit the restart zone, and it is green, green, green. Green flag is out, and we are racing here at Talladega as they go 2 by 2 by 2, racing down towards turn 1 here in a hurry to see who's going to be able to get into position here early on. Last year in the Cup race, we saw Michael McDowell lead a decent chunk of the race and honestly kind of control the fuel strategy by just pushing the pace so aggressively that nobody was really able to fuel save and still keep up with him. So will we see that same strategy here tonight? We'll have to wait and see. But here we go. Zane Smith in another Front Row Motorsports car, just like last year with McDowell. Front Row Motorsports out in front of the field. Logano to second. Kyle Busch has settled his way into the third position. And behind about the front 5, it is 3 wide behind. So we got 3 cars now in front as the inside and outside lanes are coming. They are now on either side of Kyle Busch. And only 2 cars out in front as Joey Logano jumps up to the top in front of Penske-affiliated teammate Josh Berry and gets a nice push. And now the battle for the lead is 3 wide. So Zane Smith not able to identify a run and was not able to identify one of the 2 runs to either side quick enough to try and make a block. Stays in the middle, although that inside line does kind of fade back just a little bit here. That's going to allow for Zane Smith to potentially look to the bottom for a block. But again, right now he's trying to work that middle lane, see if he can get something going. Right now, the favorites to win the race are Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Logano, 3 of the favorites to win this race. Kind of surprised that Stenhouse and McDowell are considered long shots here. I would consider them. I feel like they should be almost favorites, but I guess in order for them to win any race, it would be a little bit of a long shot. But yeah, this would be their best shot to try and get some wins. Well, McDowell at the road course is Stenhouse. Yeah, this is one of his only remaining opportunities to try and win his way to the playoffs. All right, so we got Logano in first. Zane Smith battling it out, trying to get up to that top spot. So we got 2 Fords side by side with a Chevy on the bottom and Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon currently leading this thing. Yeah, Zane Smith has managed to lead every single lap around the Talladega Speedway. He's managed to get the lead by the line each and every time, which is impressive. So here we go. Big push here. There we go. Joey Logano out in front of the field. Now Logano can block 4 wide behind. 4 lines of traffic behind Joey Logano. That is a lot of traffic to try and block. He goes down to the bottom, not able to get back up there as Michael McDowell in the 71 and the 21 of Josh Berry have both led lines to the front of the field. And we are now 4 by 4 by 4 all throughout the field. The entire field of 4 by 4 by 4. And again, right now it is just a absolute, everybody's just kind of all jammed up here. Coming off the corner, 4 wide again for every single spot. I think Barry was the one that was able to lead it at the line that last time by. But again, this battle could go any number of ways. I mean, you have to go down to about 6th or 7th before you start finding 0.2 of a second gap between them. So again, Mike McDowell has made some good moves through the field, as we identified earlier. Let's see some of the other drivers we pointed out that could be good movers. Bubba Wallace moved up 4 or 5 spots. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. up to the 12th position from a 35th place starting spot. Are you kidding me? Wow, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on fire here to start the race after a really poor qualifying effort. He's made some effort to move his way up, and here we go. We're now 5 laps down. So, again, right now, we know that these stages, the ideal strategy that most of these teams have kind of landed on throughout the years is that pitting around the midway point around lap 30 is the ideal spot. Now we'll have to wait and see if that logic holds strong throughout today, because again, we've seen sometimes an alternate strategy develop if the track starts to wear, or in this case, just because we are seeing a completely different race than there were before. I don't remember the last time we saw 4 lanes of traffic all the way through the field. Maybe 1 or 2 drivers out of line completely as everybody else goes through wide underneath them, which would be 4 wide. But as I say, this is 4 lanes of traffic for most of the field, which is, again, just an incredible stat to look at, and to just see the grid when they were 4x4x4. Starting to settle out a little bit here. I believe it's down to only a 3-wide battle. And actually, Mike McDowell out in front of the field, he could potentially start blocking all 3 lanes. Problem is that he is the lone Chevy at the front of the field. The next Chevy behind Mike McDowell would be Carson Hocevar in the 7th position, which isn't all that far back, but depending on what lane he's in, it might make it hard for him to try and do any sort of help to McDowell. Meanwhile, all the Fords all around him are definitely going to want to try and make that even harder on him. Chase Briscoe also back in about the 7th to 9th place range for the first Toyota on the field. So, again, right now, positions are very hard to keep track of because, again, they are jumping up and down 3 to 4 spots a second. So here we go. A nice big push from Ryan Preece to the back bumper of Zane Smith. Here comes the 21 of Barry on the outside. Barry going to try and get a good run going. If I'm the 71, I'm at least considering the inside lane. But I'm at this point, with a race like this, you're going to have to trust your spotter a significant portion. And right now, I don't know who McDowell's spotter is, but hopefully there is that trust there, because they are going to need to lean on that today. As we're going through this race, Michael McDowell gets taken 4 wide here, as we are back to a 4x4x4 gridlock here. And as I say, Barry at the top, McDowell in the middle, Logano in the middle, and then Zane Smith all the way at the very bottom. So the top 3 guys in the last 8 drafting tracks in terms of laps led. You've got Cindric at the most, Logano at second most by about 20 or so, and then you've got Michael McDowell third most laps led at drafting tracks, which, when you win, what was it, 4 or 5 Super Speedway pole awards last year, in addition to a front row start at the Daytona 500, I mean, you're naturally going to get a lot of those, so there we go. Well, come on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Looks like they're going to send us to our first commercial break, and it's a side-by-side. Let's go. First commercial break, and it is a side-by-side commercial, so we're not missing a thing. I love it. Hopefully we can keep that kind of action going throughout the race, although we'll have to wait and see on that one. So again, Josh Berry with the good runs up the top, but the inside with Zane Smith is hard to handle as well. And Mike McDowell just seems to be in the mode of, I'm just going to stay in line and wait for the pushes to go ahead and naturally push me ahead, which granted it has done, as he is the one car out ahead of the 4 wide behind here. Making for some good changes here. Again, Mike McDowell can go to the top or down to the bottom. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so again, we're at commercial break here. We got Zane Smith, Ryan Preece, dueling it out at the front of the field. Logano, again, where'd McDowell end up slipping to? Because he's not inside the top 4. Alright, so again, 12 laps in here, and the pace is moving incredibly quickly here. So it looks like McDowell has fallen himself in line behind Logano here. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see the 4 lanes of traffic kind of return here, but it has been a crazy start to the race. That is for sure. And once again, we are back to almost 4 lanes of traffic. And in fact, it is 4 lanes of traffic all behind Barry and Logano, who are 2 wide, now 3 wide, as another driver in the bottom lane is now pulled alongside them. Again, this traffic is insane. The fact that they've been able to keep and maintain 3 to 4 lanes of traffic throughout the entirety of this race is one of the more insane things I've ever seen. You've got Josh Berry up at the top. You got Ryan Preece down bottom. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, right now we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So the RFK guy is doing really well here. Preece in first, Busher all the way up to the 3rd position here as they currently run. And I say, Preece and Busher have actually have gotten hooked up together and are gonna try and get some good bump and run going. And here we go, Mike McDowell looking to the bottom. He's gonna go down in front of former teammate. I don't think they were ever actually in-house teammates at Front Row Motorsports, but yeah, he goes down in front of the number 38 car who sat on the pole and is driving probably the exact same car that McDowell won the pole in last year. But yeah, Mike McDowell, though, has been doing a really good job of just maintaining the front. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, right now we got Preece and Bush on in the middle lane. You got Barry up on the top line trying to make this one work, and you got Mike McDowell on the bottom trying to make the bottom work. 3 lanes of traffic has become the norm here at Talladega, and we've seen 4 wide for a decent chunk of this one so far. And I say, only 15 laps in, we're starting to get into that window where if some of these drivers wanted to get really aggressive with the pit strategy, could try and make the early stop to pit road. I don't think that's going to be the winning strategy today, though. I do think the winning strategy is going to be going with what we know works, which is pitting around the midway point. There we go. Michael McDowell to the lead. They're making this one work, which is impressive. Alright, so again, right now, the battle at the front of the field is a really fun one. And honestly, any of these drivers could realistically end up winning this thing. I mean, Cole Custer, I wouldn't rule him out. Up inside the top 5 there, pushing on the back bumper of he's been the quiet partner pushing on the back bumper of Josh Berry this whole time, keeping him competitive. Okay, going to our second commercial break within the same 10 lap span. I'd say that's a tad bit aggressive, but alright, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Now, the fact that you're, as I say, we've had 11 lead changes already in this race so early on. 11 lead changes amongst only 19 laps completed. I mean, that is an insane statistic right there. If we keep this up, I will definitely go ahead and put a lead lap graphic on the screen because lap change graphic on the screen because we've had so many lead changes already in this race that it would be insane not to almost. But yeah, Mike McDowell out in front of the field right now. He's got a decent amount of Alright, so here we go. Ryan Preece up the inside. Preece trying to take that lead away from Mike McDowell. Mike McDowell hanging on to it. Zane Smith also on the inside trying to take this one away from Mike McDowell. McDowell up at the top now, getting a push from Josh Berry. So McDowell right now is trying to drag everybody else to the top line. That way, when you go to try and pull out a line, it's harder to make big runs, and it's harder to for people to try and they have to actually be able to organize something to try and pass him rather than just being able to have one car that's faster. Because one car on the bottom is going to be slower than the freight train up top if McDowell can get it going there. But right now it's so split, it's hard to really tell. Alright, 40 laps to go here in stage number 1. Again, you can pit here and safely make it to the end of the stage. So I'm curious as to the play here. Well, again, we're back to 4 lanes of traffic here. Zane Smith up to block Berry here. Getting a good push from Berry. I'm going to try and ride that wave of momentum here. Meanwhile, Mike McDowell, Kyle Busch have both made their way to the front of the field. Kyle Busch with an interesting pair of pushers between Joey Logano, notorious for not exactly being Kyle Busch's biggest fan. And then you've got Stenhouse, the guy who got into a fight with Kyle Busch in his camp at the All-Star race last year. So. Alright, so 38 laps to go here. They were just doing a thing on the 3's pit crew. Both the 8 and the 21 trying to make some blocking moves here. The 21 of Barry goes down to the bottom to try and pick up the 22 Logano here. And Michael McDowell's been shuffled back to a third in the line here behind the 38. And now Chase Briscoe has emerged as the leader of the top line after Barry got out of the line. So Briscoe has actually managed to climb his way up the leaderboard. Alright, there we go. Alright, 37 laps in. Or sorry, 37 to go, 24 laps completed here. So far, Allmendinger with the fastest lap of the day. Obviously, it's easier to run those fast laps when you've got a ton of draft, but now the field's starting to separate out into its more traditional 2-lane format here. Top line trying to keep it a 3-lane race, but for the most part, it's the middle and bottom lanes that have grown to be the dominant ones here. You've got Michael McDowell, who has elevated himself to the second car in line on the top line, on the upper lane, while Zane Smith actually jumped out of line to try and make the pass on Kyle Busch here, and he is now battling it out for the lead with Kyle Busch. So we got ourselves a pretty good race going here. Kyle Busch with 7 wins after bye weeks. Meanwhile, no other driver has more than 2 wins. No active driver has more than 2 wins following a week off, which is insane. There we go. Nice big push here to the 71 McDowell. He's going to have to get behind, get down in front of one or the other, either the inside or outside lane, because there's about to be a sucker hole, and he is falling into it. Maybe the middle lane can revive him and keep him going, but as I say, it has been a battle here through the first 27 laps. And are we going? Okay, we got a third side-by-side commercial. Again, we're averaging about 1 every 10 laps or so. Alright, so there we go. We are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. There we go. Here comes 19 of Briscoe trying to take the lead. Alright, there we go. Alright, well, here we go. Let's see what we got going on. We got Briscoe, Bell, Hamlin. All three Joe Gibbs cars have all jumped their way to the front of the field. That's pretty impressive. Michael McDowell still leading the inside, the middle lane. But he's losing some of that support on that middle line, and it looks like they're going to join the bottom lane. But yeah, right now though, the Toyotas are in full command at the front of the field as they have driven up to the front on the top line. And they currently run spots 1 through 6 are all Toyotas. McDowell in 7th is the first Chevy. And now those 7 have gone and moved down to the bottom lane and are going to make this a whole lot harder for anybody else. Which, again, will give us a little bit of chance to relax, but yeah. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Let's see if we can get the stream up to 10 likes. That would be pretty cool. Alright, so again, right now 30, we're right at the halfway point in the stage here. Alright, so again, right now the front of the field has become all Toyota dominated here, 1 through 6. All being Toyotas, Bell, Briscoe, Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Herbst, and Reddick. The only Toyota not involved in the mix is car 54, and the 54 is what's his name is Ty Gibbs, who's currently sitting in 23rd spot. So I'll say not sure what happened to Ty Gibbs and why he didn't end up with the rest of his fleet, but the rest of his fleet is taking the lead, and they're starting to take a launch away from the field. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, right now we got everybody trying to figure out how to make a move here, but we've now passed the halfway point. So now the question is, do you wait until you run 45 laps on these tires, which would only be another 10 to 12 laps before they absolutely need to pit for fuel? Alright, there we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Where am I? It's bounced too, because I heard it fall out of my pocket. Ah, there it is. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. 34 laps to go. Ooh, wow, plane really close to landing there in the airport just out behind the track. That plane's a little late getting there. Alright, there we go. So it looks like they're going to another commercial break, and it's going to be another side-by-side. Great job, Fox. And if you guys have been around the channel for any length of time. You know, I am not exactly one to give a whole lot of credit to Fox, but the fact that we've had 4 commercial breaks through 34 laps, that's a little heavy on it. But we've had all of them be, it's been green flag the entire time. We haven't missed a single lap due to commercial break. I mean, that is insane that we haven't, especially for the era of racing on Fox. The CW, I feel like, has been pretty good about that. Alright, so again, we're 25 laps away from the end of the stage. We're 10 laps away from these drivers running out of fuel. So, again, these guys are going to have to figure out what they're going to do at some point. The question is going to be, when do they make their move, and what move do they make? There's a few different options for them, but they're going to have to figure something else out. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So again, right now the Toyotas, the 6 Toyotas in the front of the field have an absolute stranglehold, and the entire field's kind of starting to spread itself pretty thin after the initial one there. Alright, so there we go. Again, 23 laps. Again, this stage has been very I'm actually quite impressed that we didn't have a crash during that insane 4 wide throughout the entire field. But yeah, so a lot of guys making some good progress through the field. But again, the fact that those Toyotas have now gotten that stranglehold, I'm curious if anyone's really even going to try and pass them at this point while we're sitting here basically waiting for the wave of green flag stops. I'm also curious to see how many drivers potentially try and jump in that first wave, because when I see the first wave coming to pit road, I think everybody's going to be trying to jump on pit road with whoever that first wave is. And say if it's the Fords, which there's a good amount of Fords all kind of bunched together, but there's 3 Chevys in the middle there: McDowell, Elliott, Larson. Yeah, right in the middle of a Ford pack of cars. And then you've got the you've obviously got the 6 Toyotas at the front of the field that could all pit together. Alright, there we go. We are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go again. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, as I say, they were talking about the pit stops, and they are going to need to be perfect here. And we've entered lap 40, so we are entering that window. Again, reminder that the pit window is, I believe, 42 to 46 laps. That is, I think, as far as I can stretch it, is 46, maybe 47 laps. But I would expect to see there's a good chance that I think most of the field might be looking for our pit stop here in the next 2 to 3. And of course, if you're able to get the car on and off pit road nice and clean, and the faster you can do it, the better. Alright, here come a couple of Fords jumping to the outside, because yes, here comes the first wave, and it's the Toyota pack. And it looks like there are some Chevys jumping in the mix here. All 6 of the front Toyotas coming down pit road, but it looks like Mike McDowell and a couple of Chevys joined them on the pit stop. I think I saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on pit road as well here, so there we go. Everybody doing gas only, nobody doing tires. So that's 19 laps in, and now it's basically all going to be Fords at the front of the field here. The only Chevys still on the track are Elliott in 3rd, Larson, basically all the Hendrick cars, plus Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Daniel Suarez. Those are basically all your remaining Chevys on the racetrack. Everything else is pretty much a Ford, and then you've got a couple of spare Toyotas, like the 2 Legacy Motor Club cars. And I don't know, I would assume that maybe 54 also found pit road there, Ty Gibbs. Yeah, it looks like Ty Gibbs did find his way to pit road there at some point. Oh, no. Caution. Caution flag. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney wrecked, and Brad Keselowski's in it as well. Oh, man, there goes most of the contenders there, or at least most of the front of the pack. So, caution flag flies, and if the Chevy Toyota pack that pit earlier is still on the lead lap, they have a pretty good shot now. Say, Blaney's car is done for the day. Kyle's looks like he's going to limp it back to pit road. Might try and get something done there, but yeah, that is not going to be a very good spot there. Alright, so there we go. The 6 of Brad Keselowski is wrecked on the infield as well, so hopefully not too many people picked him for fantasy, but Ryan Blaney, I feel like almost everybody is going to have him. Please tell me I did not have him in my lineup, because if I did, that would be unfortunate. And I didn't have Blaney. Wow. I picked a good week not to put Blaney in. Which is weird, because this would have been a week I almost would have said Blaney was close to a surefire thing. Alright, now that I've gotten a chance, let's see what actually happened here to cause this one. So, alright, that onboard really wasn't all that helpful. Looked like the guys were lifting to try and avoid running into the back of guys coming down to pit road. And we ended up with a crash here. And they send it to commercial break, so we are just chilling out here. Real quick, I'm going to throw a poll up in the chat here. As I mentioned during yesterday's stream, I will not be home for next weekend's Texas race, so I'm curious as to what pre-recorded content you guys would like to see me attempt to work on. I only have a couple of days to try and work on it before I fly out of town, so I've thrown a couple of ideas in there that I could probably do fairly quickly, but I also put other in there. If you guys want to give some ideas, I would love to hear your guys' opinion. But yeah, all 4 of those should be fairly quick ideas, or all 3 of my ideas that I posted should be fairly quick ideas to be able to put together 1 or 2 videos for you guys while I'm gone, because again, I will not be around next weekend for the Texas race weekend. Which, granted, again, that is probably a good race to not be around for. So again, this caution flag, though, again, if any of those drivers manage to get to pit road before the caution came out, those will be your race leaders. The question, though, is did any of them get there? Because the caution should have come out pretty quick based on the wreck that I saw. So I don't know if any of them actually made it to pit road beforehand, but there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go, there we go. Just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Still find it weird that they have Jeb Burton listed as John Burton. That should definitely not be it. Let's get a second leaderboard though so we can scroll through. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, let's see. So the only drivers off the lead lap right now are the 3 guys involved in the crash. Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Blaney, and again, Keselowski, Blaney, those 2 are out of the race for the end of the day. Kyle Busch, he's 2 laps down, probably not going to make the recovery drive. But it's not something I would say that is impossible. Christopher Bell in 22nd is the first of the drivers who is who freshly pit. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Oh, we got 8 people hanging out in chat and just watching this replay of Blaney crashing again. And yeah, he just got absolutely annihilated. He tried to race his way through there and just got tagged. Alright, so yeah, so Zane Smith late checking up there and really looked like Brad Keselowski just wheel hopped it. Yeah, I can't collided with the number 8 car, and then once those 2 got to spinning, everything else was all out of shape. Might also been a little bit of contact there with Josh Berry, but hard to really tell. So there we go. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. There we go. Brad Keselowski safely out of the car. Nice to see him out of it after that wreck, but obviously you wish for better luck for some of these guys. Alex Bowman being listed as involved. I didn't even see what his involvement was. Alright, well, while we're under the caution flag, I'm gonna go take care of my dishes real quick, and I will be right back, guys. that Kyle Busch pick go, Dad? Did you have Brad Keselowski or Blaney too? Oh, so you've got two of the guys involved in that one, so you can't even just garage one of them and drive it out. I did lose Kyle Busch. If he had that bad in the garage, yes, he was smart. He put Blaney in. That's like a 1,000 IQ move. It's like it looks like idiotic. In your part, Harry 1-2. First time in his life he's ever listened to me. I had already put Breeze in before you told me. Yeah, I had already gone to put Breeze there. Area. Yeah, and then he signed the deal. Yep. I can see that maybe dealing with the problem. Well, I mean, I knew he was a factor. I just didn't think he was the entire. Like, you keep looking, considering they now have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Who are you waiting to trade for? Billy Gabriel? Joe Flacco? Kenny Pickett? Clearly nobody wanted Shador. They let him slide. No one wanted. But Shador still hasn't fired Dion. Only Shiloh separated himself from Dion. The thought process was Dion would go left. Shiloh firing. Oh, yeah, I mean, you can get rid of Dion. That's the thing, yes, because again, from everything I've heard, Shador hasn't done anything bad. Him too. No problem. Right? Yeah, so. When we see Shador having fired his dad as a manager or hiring and I'll start. Other 4 quarterbacks on the roster, it's like, I don't know who they're trading there. All right, and we are back, and we are ready for this one. Also, grab my saw my Mike McDowell hat. Figured we'd grab that, and we will gonna get ready for pit stops. Here we go. Coming down onto pit road, we got Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Elliott Cindric, and the rest of them coming down pit road. Basically, everybody who is still on on the racetrack before that caution came out. Luckily, I don't think anyone actually ran out of fuel during the caution, which was something, because my dad had the race in the other room. I could hear the TV talking about that as a possibility. Did Chase Elliott really have a 2-second pit stop there? I'm going to say, if so, he definitely didn't get enough fuel on that one. So, Elliott and Zane Smith going no tires. Everybody else doing 4 tires. I think 4 tires is the right call here because you have all the time to put the tires on and make use of them in the early part of this one. And the tires, I think the tires can easily go 50 laps, even with an extra heat cycle from the end of the stage. So I don't really know why you would go ahead and get rid of the tires, or not go with tires here just because you have a short dash of the stage. I mean, it's not like staying out here to gain 1 to 2 spots was really going to make a world of a difference. So there we go. Alright, so again, they're getting ready to go here. Let's say currently at a commercial break, so you guys are not missing anything. We are just chilling out here as they go ahead and cycle everybody through the pit stops. And Cody Ware is inside the top 5. Okay. I don't know how, but Cody Ware is inside the top 5, and he did make a pit stop with the rest of them at lap 42. Again, I don't really know how that worked. But yeah, so right now it looks like it's Buescher, Preece, Cole Custer, Bell, Hamlin, Bubba, Herbst, Reddick, and Haley the top 10. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. sitting there in 11th. Hopefully we'll go ahead and get that one set up. Alright, yeah, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. They got the Indy 500 Super Bowl commercial going on right now. Alright, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Indy 500 practice did say Indy 500 did have their April test session earlier this week that started the unofficial month of May. Well, unofficial is because it technically isn't May yet, but Kyle Larson did have his first IndyCar crash. We also saw Takuma Sato put up a big number before he ultimately succumbed to a crash as well. Alright, so there we go. Coming back from commercial break here. We got 10 laps to go till the end of the stage, so it's going to be a nice quick dash for the final 10-lap sprint here. Alright, let's get ready to roll. Here we go. Pace car's off. Field in the hands of Chris Buescher and the 20 of Christopher Bell here. Green, green, green. Green flag is out. We are racing here at Talladega. The Ford's on the inside. The Toyota's on that outside line. And here we go. They are firing down into turn 1 here. 9 laps to go. 9 more times around here. And the question remains, which driver will end up... Oh, crash! Christopher Bell! Hard to the inside wall! Buescher is well gone too. What on earth happened? Bell, what were you thinking? What? What were you thinking, Bell? I assume I saw that right, but it looked like Bell just cut down across Buescher's nose. Maybe he thought he was clear or his team said he was clear, but that was a terrible decision of a move. And there goes Christopher Bell. I am going to have to clip that because I did not think to hit record for the restart. Bell. So that'll probably become a short. Boom. So there we go. Christopher Bell walking away from his destroyed race car. I didn't have Bell, did I? I know I floundered around potentially putting in a couple of different Toyotas, but I don't think that was one of them. Alright, well, on the plus side, at least my guy wasn't in it, but let's see. I managed to scrape by that one by the skin of my teeth there. Yeah, I'm managing to scrape by these wrecks by the skin of my teeth here because I did not have Buescher was another driver that I absolutely thought I had in my lineup. Did not. Didn't have Bell. Again, a lot of these drivers I considered, but opted not to go with. Alright, so there we go. We got that one set up. Alright, so hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, so Bell either gets loose off the nose of the 11 or makes a stupid decision to block. I'm hoping that he got loose. I'll say we'll have to wait until we can hear from him. But I'm hoping that he says that, even if it isn't true, I hope he says, oh, yeah, I got loose off the push from the 11. Because if he says anything like, okay, yeah, it does look like he might have, like that might actually be the case. But yeah, again, if he was to say the spotter thing, like, oh yeah, the spotter said it was clear, similar to what one of the Xfinity drivers did yesterday, then I would be really concerned. But again, here we go. Second caution of the race. We've got 20 lead changes in 30 and 53 laps. And again, a lot of those were early on in that one. We were on an insane pace to start this one off with for potential record lead changes. Settled down a little bit, but we still got some racing left to go here. So it might have just been an ill-advised push by Denny Hamlin. Again, the more I've seen this replay, initially, the way I saw it, I thought Bell might have tried to clear himself down the back straightaway to try and get that push from the inside line, but one, that would have been a really stupid decision if that was his choice. And two, I don't truly believe he is that dumb. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. You guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Also, for anyone who has just joined, the poll in the chat is about the fact that I will not be around next weekend for the Texas weekend. but I still want to try and get you guys some content, so I'm going to be pre-recording a couple of videos, hopefully to post throughout the weekend. So, if you guys want to have an input on what some of those are, feel free to go ahead and put those in. As I'm hoping to maybe get 2, maybe 3 videos out, but again, I don't really know because it's going to come down to what I can get done with. I'm going to say all of the above. Yeah, people were pitting as they crashed. So, Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Brad have all gotten damage. Yeah, he and Blaney, I think, are out. Kyle Busch, I think, is still going. I'm going to say, that won't stay that way for very long, Mom. Say it. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, here we go. They're coming back from commercial break. Hopefully we'll be getting ready to go back racing here shortly. If so, it'll be a very short dash to the checkers. Alright, so there we go. We got time with Brad Keselowski out of the infield care center after that wreck. Alright, so they've gone doubled up here. It's Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin out in front. Let's set that there. Alright, so yeah, so they're talking with Brad Keselowski about what happened. Again, I think that one was pretty simple to figure out. He tried checking out for the guys coming onto pit road, and people were lined up right on his rear bumper, not really giving a lot of room. Which, granted, it's Talladega. You're not supposed to be giving a whole lot of room. All 3 Spire Motorsports cars lined up on the inside line together. Haley, McDowell, and Hocevar are going to be going for those points. You got Stenhouse up in the top 10 as well. There we go. All right, so your starting lineup for the restart will be Bubba Wallace and Hamlin, row 1. Cody Ware and Ryan Preece, row 2. Reddick and Herbst, row 3. Row 4, Haley and Custer. Row 5, McDowell, Stenhouse. Row 6, we got Hocevar and Gibbs. Smith and Elliott, row 6. And that's going to be even further and then they take it down, so we'll have to keep an eye out here. But yeah, Blaney was so close to making it through, and he just got tagged. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright. There we go. Here we go. Green flag's out. We are racing here with, 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go here. Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace out in front of the field. Got Ryan Preece on the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. No, now Ryan Preece backs up. He's looking for a push from the car behind there, but I believe that car behind is Herbst. And Riley Herbst is going to be a little hesitant, I'm sure, to give a push to a guy who's trying to pass his teammate. Ooh, big plume of, not smoke, but speedy dry there as they were going and cleaning up the debris from that previous caution here. Hamlin and Bubba Wallace still side by side here. 3 laps to go. It'll be 3 laps to go at the line here. But again, right now, Bubba Wallace versus Denny Hamlin. They have made this one a pretty good run. But Preece giving some good pushes here. Getting Hamlin out way ahead of that inside line. That inside line not exactly flourishing here. And now we got Denny Hamlin out in front of the field. Ryan Preece, Bubba Wallace. Again, Riley Herbst in the mix as well. Here we go. Chase Elliott pops out of line here in about 15th place or so. Not sure if he's going to have any help, though, behind him here. He was up to 10th there for a moment. Now Ty Gibbs takes that 10th spot away. But yeah, here we go. Let's see. Coming through the tri-oval, it's 2 laps to go. 2 more times around for car number 11. Denny Hamlin out in front of the field. Ryan Preece to second. Riley Herbst in third on the top side. Cole Custer also in line on that top side. That inside line just not able to compete right now. A little bit of a surge here on the inside. Bubba Wallace making an attempt to try and surge his way back up there. And here comes Stenhouse on the top line. The top line coming with a head of steam as well. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to the lead. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. out in front of the field. You've got Bubba Wallace on the inside battling it out for that lead spot here. Stenhouse going to go down to the side-to-side draft here. Come on, Stenhouse. No, Stenhouse gets in front of... Stenhouse gets in front of Denny Hamlin and just kind of gets sucked into the middle of the 3 wide here. And contact! No spin, but a little bit of contact there as things got really close around the start-finish line area here. White flag is out. 1 lap to go here. Kyle Larson has now found his way to the front of the field here. Larson in control of the field. You've got the 47 of Stenhouse right on his rear bumper. The 11 of Hamlin. Here comes Bubba Wallace to the inside. Bubba Wallace versus Kyle Larson. What an interesting group at the front of the field here, but Bubba Wallace now has the edge. He's going to try and block. Shoves Larson up towards the fence here. Cars going left and right here. Stenhouse looking low. Larson to the block and through the tri-oval. Larson's going to win stage 1, but barely as William Byron makes a last-second charge. Stenhouse to third, 4th Elliott, 5th Bubba. So, great run there from Kyle Larson to go ahead and fend off that stage win. He had to work. For every inch there. He manages to hold on for it, and ultimately, he comes home with a stage win, a playoff point to carry into the playoffs, which he will basically have probably a first-round bye at this rate with the amount of winning he's been doing. But, hey, every point counts, and he just got himself another 10 of them towards the regular season championship as well. So, good on Kyle Larson for that, especially at a track that is typically not one of his best tracks. So, looking forward to seeing how he can do the rest of the day. But, man, Stenhouse was so close there. He ends up coming home third. Again, Denny Hamlin, AJ Allmendinger, Cody Ware, Riley Herbst, and Justin Haley, the other drivers who earned points in this stage. All right, let's see. How is my points looking? Okay, I'm 6th place on points right now. Okay. Yeah, Logano Berry kind of hurting me, and Michael McDowell and Preece not really helping me with the at the current moment. Alright, so there we go. We are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. We've been doing these types of streams now for a couple of years. Working our way towards that big 3,000 subscriber number. Currently only 19 subscribers away from the big 3K. Alright, let's see. Any other of my rosters that I need to go ahead? Yeah, I probably need to move. Because I did make my other rosters today, so I gotta probably go through and take Blaney out of a lot of those. Let's see. Alright, Blaney's already in the garage for that one. Alright, so again, there we go. We've had a chaotic last few minutes here, though. And I said the last couple of minutes for the NASCAR Cup Series has been chaos everywhere here. Alright, let's see. I'm going to try and get that stage 1 clip uploaded, because that was actually a really good finish to stage 1, so I'm going to try and get that clip going here, so give me a minute, guys. As we're going to be seeing some pit stops here at the end of the stage, as everybody's going to level themselves off here. Alright, so there we go. Coming down pit road, 58 laps in this stage, as they've already started to work off these laps. Nobody's going for, the front couple of guys not going for tires. Elliott and Bubba Walls, who did not take tires on their green flag stops, are having to take the stops. And okay, so the time clock on Chase Elliott's pit stops are just terrible because it says his pit stop took half a second. I am not a genius, but if that's half a second, then my shifts are an eternity. So there we go. John Hunter Nemechek coming out of the out here. Alright, so there we go. Carson Hocevar, Kyle Busch making some progress here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. I'm gonna say there will be some buffering here for a minute while the clip is rendering. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just send this one out. Let's see. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. You guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Alright, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go, there we go. Welcome on in. Alright, we got 10 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that has decided to spend a portion of your day here with us as we are just chilling out, enjoying a race, hopefully. Alright, there we go. Alright, the Texas Motor Speedway weekend. We got Friday night, the truck race. Yeah, I'm not, as I'm going to be out of town, so odds are I'm not going to stream any of those races. If I was going to be able to stream one of them, maybe the truck series, depending on what time my thing gets done on Friday, but I would say it's an extreme unlikeliness, so. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up having pre-recorded videos for the week, so. I can't do, like, NASCAR news or anything, because I can't really put it out and expect it to actually be accurate. So there we go, the spotter stand and how cluttered it is up there with all the spotters trying to get a good look at their cars. Alright, so there we go. We got the 62 of Anthony Alfredo leading right now. That's insane. William Byron to second. Third, John Henry Nemechek. Fourth is Austin Dillon. Fifth, Daniel Suarez. Then you got Chastain, Cindric, Gilliland, Bowman, and Logano, the top 10. What kind of top 10 are we looking at here? I am really curious to see what ends up coming of all this. And almost everybody, yeah, literally everybody except for Alfredo pit under this last caution flag, so. We'll have to wait and see, but it looks like it's going to be an interesting group here as we get ready to roll. Alright, they're getting everything doubled up here. Again, Anthony Alfredo going to try and get a good restart here on the inside of row 1. Alright, so there we go. Carson Hocevar swapping out helmets. So there we go. Something going wrong with his primary helmet, I guess. So there we go. Alright. Alright. There we go. Alright, here we go. Pace car pulls off. Anthony Alfredo and William Byron in the front of the field. Alright, let's get ready to roll this one back to the green flag. Green, green, green. Green flag is out, and we are back to racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. As all the cars come roaring down here, let's see. Anybody popping out of line early? So far, so simple. Just two lines of two lines of cars, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Nobody's pop. We got one car popping out of line for a third line, but it is not a lot of cars. But it's quickly starting to become a lot of cars here as everybody's popping out of what is now the middle lane and joining the top line. Alright, so again, right now we got ourselves a 3-wide pack here starting to form with the a bunch of cars trying to move to that outer lane, trying to find a little extra speed here. Alright, so again, there we go. Anthony Alfredo in the 62. He's still trying to hang on here for the lead. Alright, so here we go. 53 laps to go. We got ourselves a these stages, I will say, are actually a really nice length here. We got William Byron 3 wide in the lead as Ross Chastain pops to the outside of the side-by-side duel that we've been talking about, because we do have the 22 and the 24 and the 62 battling it out for the top spot. This is going nice and smooth, and now the one car wants to try and get in on the mix. Or more so, the 22 car behind him wants to try and get in on the mix of battling for the lead lap. Alright, so we have 52 laps to go. You know, we're working our way through this one, but it is not exactly going the fastest. So here we go. Let's see. Alright, so welcome on in. We got 12 people hanging out in chat. Chastain, Logano on the top side here, making something happen. As they need a good push here. Again, everybody on that top line trying to make something happen. Meanwhile, the middle and bottom lanes kind of don't have anywhere to go while the outside lane is there. That's kind of the one downside of that outside lane kind of being there, is that it blocks that middle line from being able to do much. Alright, so again, here we go. The 62 of Alfredo is actually hanging in there a lot better than I think people were going to give him credit for. There we go. So yeah, the 62 of Anthony Alfredo making a pretty good surge here on the inside line. Alright, so again, right now, 50 laps to go. Again, I'm curious if we might see somebody or anybody try the really early pit strategy where you pit at the second the fuel window opens to make it to the end. Alright, so again, right now we're working our way through this one. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Here we go. Anthony Alfredo to the middle to get in front of William Byron to block here. Alright. So 49 laps to go. Alright, so again, right now we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to end up happening here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe. Alright, come on. Alfredo out in front of the field, currently trying to work all 3 lanes of traffic that are behind him. Daniel Suarez on that inside line has a run, but he knows that McDonald's isn't going to be far behind. Alright, so again, here we go. We got the 62 trying to block both lanes. The 24 Byron trying to see if he can block a couple of lanes here, trying to make some things happen. And now it looks like we're almost about to be through by 3 there for a moment. But right now One doing a good job of balancing the other two, so there we go. Here we go, John Hunter Nemechek with a big run at the top of the board here. Nemechek with a nice big run. Tied with, okay, here we go. Tied with Christopher Bell here. Let's see. Alright, so let's see what we got. Alright. So we got Christopher Bell out of the race at lap 52. So here we go. Chastain out in front of the field. He's going to try and block both lanes. Alright, here we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. I wish I wasn't so tired. Again, the race has actually been good. It's just a full day of work that's got me tired. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, this battle for the through wide is going to be... Alright, so again, right now, side by side by side. Logano getting up into the mix. Nemechek, Chastain, Alfredo. Alright. Alright, so there we go. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Alright, so 44 laps to go, and they're still deadlocked here at the front of the field. I mean, Chastain hasn't budged one bit. Here comes Logano to the outside, and here comes down on the inside. I mean, there really is not much happening on. Alright, so there we go. Again, right now we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, we got Anthony Alfredo is putting up a much better fight than I think we ever gave him credit for here. Alright, so there we go. Let's see. Yeah, right now the battle is between the front two, but it could easily become to the again. So there we go. Alright, so 43 laps to go. 43 laps here in this stage. Alright, let's see. Currently 18 down. Still getting over whatever this cold is. So, 1 second. Alright, so there we go. Got that all done. But yeah, Chastain and Barry out in front of the field here. Alfredo on the inside. He's putting up a good fight. But yeah, he's not. He hasn't really gotten any of the Chevys behind him to really commit to trying to push him here. Here we go. We got the 99 hooked up. Alright, so they went to a side-by-side commercial here. As again, the 6-2 of Anthony Alfredo still blocking here. Right, I'm going to run a quick commercial on my own, and I will be right back. I know we do have a side-by-side, so we're able to see the battle, but I'm going to grab some water. You know, that's pretty, you should be used to that by now. Are you looking? Are you looking at the actual running position, or are you looking at his ranking? Okay, I was gonna say if you're looking at points earned because we've had the first stage and you didn't earn points there, he might be less on the rank score than what you're seeing for a running position. here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Sorry about that. We are back from the commercial break, though. And they are still at it here. And I'm impressed. Anthony Alfredo has avoided falling back too far here. Chastain's made a bit of a run as well. Someone that we didn't necessarily have pegged initially, although he does have a Talladega win on his resume. Yeah. But yeah, so Chastain, Barry, Suarez up in the top 5 here. SVG has even found his way to the front of the field. That's pretty impressive. He's up in the top 10. Not seeing very many of the Spire Motorsports guys. No Haley, no 77, no 71. That's a little concerning there. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Here we go. Here comes Bowman up the middle. So Bowman coming up the middle here, going to try and see if he can shoot this gap. Looks like the 62 of Alfredo is going to try and get in front of him, see if he can get a push from Bowman here. But yeah, this, oh, there we go. Bowman up, or not Bowman, Alfredo back up to the top to try and block the top line, trying to gain some momentum there. Just fighting for whatever he can do to try and gain some momentum. And now Daniel Suarez and Noah Gragson have jumped out to the lead here. Where did Noah Gragson come from? Here comes Alfredo up to the top. Alfredo to the top. He's back to the race lead. Here comes Noah Gragson looking for the win. Looking for the lead and the win here. Alright, so right now we got ourselves a really good race going here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. And here we go. Off of, off turn 4, heading towards the tri-oval. Alfredo is, again, putting up a really good fight here. And the question is going to come down to, who is going to be pitting when? Are we going to see, again, we're coming up on halfway in the stage again. Are we going to see anybody try and pit at the, split the stage in half? Or are we going to see them just run it out to the end of the checkers like they have the last, in the last stage? So I'd love to see some more strategy than just run it till it's dry on the fuel. Alright, there we go. Everybody's trying to make something happen. Everybody's trying different things. Seeing what works, what doesn't work here. Alright, so we got 32 laps to go. We got ourselves a pretty good race going. Welcome on in. We got 14 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that has decided to spend a portion of your very valuable Sunday here with us as we are getting ready for this one. Anthony Alfredo still out in front of the field, working both lanes of traffic. That's a lot of moving up and down here. So yeah, he's led 11 laps today. That's a career high for him. He's led more laps today than in the rest of his career combined, which is not really a shock until you remember that he ran a full Cup season for Front Row Motorsports. Wasn't a great season, and hence why he didn't stay around past that one season. But he does have 41 Cup starts under his belt, and he hadn't gotten double-digit win laps led in 41 races combined, which was a little surprising. And so you got side-by-side commercial. Again, Michael McDowell, Stenhouse stuck in the 30s here. Come on, that first restart, everybody was able to make so much ground up. And now all of a sudden, they're really struggling here. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. We are chilling. And again, we got the poll in the chat as well for video ideas. Would love to hear your guys' ideas if you guys have any video ideas you guys would like to see me potentially do this week. Hey, Raiden, how's it going? Alright, so there we go. As I currently at a side-by-side commercial break. Anthony Alfredo, though, he is impressing a lot here. I mean, he's able to go up and lead laps here, blocking 2 to 3 lanes of traffic here at a time. I still don't. That 62 car in general, I mean, Parker Retzloff last year in the Summer Daytona race nearly had a shot to win it. If he had just given a slightly better push to maybe if he tried to go with somebody else there at the end, maybe he could have done something different. But regardless, he had a runner-up finish in a cup race. Now we got Anthony Alfredo in that car, and he's doing really well as well. So it's a pretty good week of racing here. The Xfinity race was a really good one all the way through. I was a little annoyed with the way the race finished, but honestly, I don't feel like the way that finish happened, I don't think devalues the rest of the race. I've heard a lot of people saying, like, how, good, I did a Dega Heat 5 race and beat LaJoy to the line by about a car. All right, not bad, nice. Congratulations on that one. All right, and here we go. They're going back from the commercial break. We will be seeing this one. Let's see again. Right now we got Chastain and Barry on the top side trying to make a bit of a rally here. Anthony Alfredo in the 62 currently in second place here. Looks like he's going to drop maybe to third place almost as they head down the back straightaway. Catches a little bit of speed there as they get closer together. Alright, so 27 laps to go again. We're closing in on the alright, best average finishes at this track, and Anthony Alfredo, a 13. Let's see. Yeah, it was the 2's fault. We never had a Trackhouse driver win at Daytona or Talladega. That is not right. Chastain literally has a win at Talladega in the Trackhouse #1 car. Unless I'm completely forgetting something. But yeah, there we go. And I say Daytona, yeah. And I say Zilich was running great. Yep, Zilich was having a great day yesterday. I actually mentioned that during the stream. Was that especially for a road course ringer where we were worried about how quickly he would adapt to the ovals. But yeah, no worries. But yeah, I was just like trying to think because yeah, Daytona they haven't won at yet. But they also haven't had as many starts there, and with how luck-based Daytona and Talladega are, it doesn't surprise me that they've struggled, so. But yeah, there was a lot of weird things there, so. Alright, so yeah, 25 laps to go here. Yeah, so we're closing in on, we're about 10 minutes out here. Yeah, Zilich is doing better than SVG on the ovals. Yeah, by far. SVG has really struggled on the ovals. Yeah, Zilich really doesn't look all that far off from other rookies on the same team who grew up doing oval racing. I mean, maybe on some of the shorter ovals, Carson Kvapil looks a lot better, but on the mile and a half and bigger tracks, Zilich looks like he's not all that far off from a Carson Kvapil. And again, Kvapil grew up doing oval racing and especially short track oval racing. Yeah, versus Zilich, who he grew up doing road course racing. He's raced in IMSA at the Rolex 24 and whatnot, and really didn't do ovals until like this past year when he came over to NASCAR. So, yeah, he's been getting caught up in other people's messes. I will give him that, but he's also been running in spots that lead to that. I mean, if people are going to tar and feather, yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for how many times he gets caught up in other people's messes because he runs 20th to 25th place almost every week. And say at some point, I think the same criticism can be made of SVG. Speaking of SVG, he's third in line on the top as the top line is starting to come to prominence here. All right, so there we go. Let's see. So showing some of the pit stop issues that we've had before. They're going to go to a commercial break here before we get the commercial. Before we get everything all set up there. But, yep. Oh, it's going to be a side-by-side commercial. Yes, let's go. So Anthony Alfredo versus Ross Chastain here. Ooh, Chastain a little loose off the nose of the 22. I thought he was about to get wrecked there, but no, here we go. Nice big push from the 22 to the 1. Yeah, 22 laps to go here, and we are working our way through this one. And here we go. One driver coming to pit road. It is Kyle Busch all by himself. That's not good. Let's see. This track is going to produce another stupid winner like last fall. I legitimately cannot remember who was the winner last fall. Let's see. Oh, the winner was Stenhouse. All right. Stenhouse is not a dumb winner, especially at a plate track. Certainly, I was looking through and I just saw the Stenhouse thing, but yeah. Totally no bias from the fact that we got a Stenhouse jersey on, but plate tracks like this are his bread and butter, and I mean, that'd be like saying, oh yeah, it's a stupid winner that Kyle Busch went out and won at Bristol again, or at this point, Kyle Larson winning at Bristol. I mean, just because people have tracks that they excel at, and yeah, this one is definitely a lot more luck-based than the other ones, but Stenhouse has figured out how to run these tracks consistently. Here we go. We got another challenge for the lead. Here comes Noah Gragson up the inside. So Noah Gragson with a push down the back straightaway. He's got a shot to try and take the lead away from Logano. Looks like Logano, though, with a big push here from Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece gives a massive push to the 22, getting him way out in front here. And now both he and Preece could potentially try and block both lanes here. We got 19 laps to go here, and we'll have to wait and see where everybody is running at the end of this one. Yeah, we're coming up on the stage yellow or the stage 2 pit stop. So if you guys want to make any edits to your lineup, I would do it now before all this stuff gets shuffled around here. I assume I know who I've got in my one here. Cody wears out of butter just as bread. Yep, probably, but hey, I mean, even he's had a respectable day today. Maybe not a great one, but hey, he's been in and around the top 5, top 10 today. Again, definitely not great, but hey, it's something. He's earning more points today than I am. Alright, but yeah, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. 17 laps to go. Again, I'm expecting pit stops for the next couple of laps here. Remember what happened the last time? Blocked multiple lanes. Zilly. Priest looking for his revenge at Daytona. Yep. There we go. Kyle Busch, the lone driver to have already made his pit stop here. He is about to get lapped by the field, and that is not going to be a good feeling for Kyle Busch. Again, he's already come to pit road. All right, so there we go. 16 laps to go here. All right, so again, all these drivers are coming close to running out of fuel. We're going to have to wait and see. Alfredo came to pit road. Busher, Bell, both, well, actually, no, wait, never mind. They wrecked, so their fuel numbers are irrelevant. So, again, Alfredo came to pit road by himself because he had to pit. He was out of fuel otherwise, so he had to come to pit road. Now we're going to be looking 15 laps to go on the stage. Everybody else needs a pit stop somewhere in the next 5 laps here. I think Suarez heard me. But, yeah, right now, again, Priest, Logano, Gregson, Bubba Wallace, and Tyler Reddick making their names known up here in the top group here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so again, we're just changing a couple of lineups here, and then we will be right back with you guys. In a couple of different fantasy leagues for a couple of different friend groups. Although I do have one fantasy league that I play in more than any other, and I put more effort into than any other. And that is the fantasy league that I have at the top of the description of every video and live stream. So if you guys ever want to take part in that, feel free to go ahead and join on in. Compete on a weekly basis. And yeah, right now, that's it. Right now, I'm in third place with Mike and GL Racing out ahead of me right now. 14 laps to go here. Not a lot of, the outside line, Suarez, Hocevar, Barry, they are coming to life here. Also, a good push from Chase Elliott, but again, we got Ty Dillon jumping into the inside line here, trying to make a move, possibly getting ready for his green flag pit stop here. Again, we're assuming the entire field is going to be coming in the next 2 to 3 laps, I believe, is the math. All right, and here we go. One driver coming to pit road this time by, and it is the 3 of Austin Dillon pitting all by himself. What are these people thinking? I mean, it's one thing to pit if you absolutely had to. Like, I know, like, we know, what's his name, pit early. Yeah, we know Alfredo pit a lot earlier than everybody else because he stayed out at the stage ending yellow. But again, we've had this entire stage run green flag, which is incredible. Yeah, so there we go. Coming off this turn, here comes a batch of cars. It looks like mostly the Hendrick guys. Ooh! The 88 of SVG possibly speeding on that entry as he came running in there with a ton of speed. So SVG and the Hendrick cars here. We got Larson, we got Elliott. I saw both of them on pit road. Not sure who else was down there. Again, we got Chastain on pit road. Got Chastain, Elliott, Larson, SVG. Bowman coming off, Byron coming off pit road. Here comes Cody Ware as well off the pit lane. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so we are still chilling out here. Let's see. It's Austin Dillon's birthday? Alright, cool. Didn't realize it was Austin Dillon's birthday. I know Kyle Busch's birthday is next week, I believe. Next week during the truck race will be Kyle Busch's actual birthday. And yep, speeding penalty, SVG and Chase Elliott. Shane Van Gisbergen, I called that one. I saw that one as it happened. Chase Elliott, though, also busted for speeding. Shane Van Gisbergen and Chase Elliott both busted for speeding. Just too fast on pit road. Oh, that is gonna hurt the Chase Elliott fans there. And here comes the rest of the cars coming down. Or here comes another batch of cars coming down pit road. This looks to be mostly a Ford batch here, although you've got the 99 of Suarez missing a pit box. I'm confused. Okay, fair enough. But not sure what was going on with the Suarez there. But yeah, most of the Penske Fords along with Cole Custer were on pit road there. Elliott still yet to serve his pit road penalty. I think he's trying to wait out a potential caution flag to make that extra pit stop, but for the pass through on pit road. But I think you got to make a pass through at some point. Otherwise, they will stop scoring you. Here comes the rest of the field. Yep, there we go. That's going to be a complete mixed bag. Most of the Toyotas coming to pit road. Everybody's coming, it looks like. And say, if anybody stayed out, it would be a little bit shocking here, but yeah, it looks like everybody's coming. No, Michael McDowell has stayed out, possibly. So, yeah, here we go. Everybody kind of getting regrouped up here. Oh, we got a lot of people ducking out of line here. Noah Gragson a little bit shaken up. And the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek goes around on pit exit. And how is that not a caution? I mean, I guess he was technically off the racing surface, but come on. Oh, man. That was a massive spin and a lot of tire smoke here. A lot of guys popping out of line trying to find ways around guys like Logano just finding a way around Haley there. But yeah, right now though, the Levin Hamlin is on pit road. Looks like a couple of other guys, Michael McDowell making that later pit stop, and here comes Chase Elliott to serve that pass through here. So far, it's looking like it. And I say, we almost ate those words a moment ago because, the 42 gave us a real good scare there. But here comes the 71 of Michael McDowell going to rejoin the field here. Not going to be the leader of the field, but he's right in that lead pack, and I think that's going to be good enough to potentially make something of it. Suarez here, I believe, going a lap down, so he is going to absolutely be very much a must. Some sort of black magic's going to have to happen for him to really contend here down the stretch. But Carson Hocevar has found his way to the front after all the pit stops are done. Hocevar, Bubba Wallace, Reddick, Logano, Gill in the top 5. And we got cars all over the place here. The question is, can Carson Hocevar hold on to the Stage 1 win? Hey Taterhead, how's it going? Fantasy is going pretty well. If you, real quick, you have 6 laps before your garage before your garage closes. So if anyone else plays the NASCAR fantasy game, you do have until the end of this stage to make any adjustments to your lineup. But yeah, right now I am sitting in the 3rd position, about 25 points shy of 25 points shy of 1st place in the league right now. Yeah, for the week. So here we go. 6 laps to go, though. Joey Logano on the top side. You've got the 77 of Carson Hocevar to the inside. Good run off the top here. Joey Logano leader at the line. 5 laps to go. So 5 more times around here to decide if you need to move your garage guy around or not. So again, just giving that reminder to anybody who might need it. Although I think both my parents have already got their garage guys set. So there we go. Alright, so we're getting Carson Hocevar out in front of the field. Tyler Reddick getting a sniff of 2nd place there as he started to get the 77 clear almost enough to where he could start to try and move. There we go. Off the top side, it's going to be Justin Haley giving a good push there. And if Logano wins, I'm going to crash out. Yeah. I certainly hope Logano doesn't win, but I do have him in my fantasy lineup, so. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I went with McDowell for my pick for the podcast race picks. So yeah, there we go. Again, I'm glad I didn't go Blaney because again, Blaney was one of those that I feel like has done very well at this track in the past. All right, but yeah, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, and here we go. Why is Denny Hamlin back on pit road? He's changing tires with 3 laps to go on the stage. I mean, possibly trying to undercut the stage so that when you can maybe stay out at the end of the stage to get track position. What gives you more points? The better your drivers are finishing in the race, if they earn any stage points by finishing in the top 10 at the end of the stages, those all earn you points. And then the other things that give you more points is if your driver, for example, right now, Noah Gragson holds the fastest lap award, that gives an additional 1 point. Highest finisher at Talladega that is active is Stenhouse. No idea what you're trying to say. If you're talking about the highest running Talladega winner, that would be Logano. Because Logano and Bubba have both won it. Yeah, Talladega. But here comes Bubba Wallace. Big push from the 2 to the 23. The 23, the Michael Jordan machine, out in front of the field. Kyle Busch came. Shane Van Gisbergen had the speeding penalty, so he had to do a pass through on pit road. Kyle Busch, he was involved in the Ryan Blaney Brad Keselowski caution, got some damage, put himself off the pit strategy, so he had to pit earlier than everybody else. I think he's currently a lap down, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Nope. Kyle Busch is on the lead lap in 25th place. Shane Van Gisbergen's a lap down, though. He and Suarez are both 1 lap behind the race. Alright, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Oh, and it's the final lap of the stage. I didn't realize we'd gotten all the way to it. Bubba Wallace is going to win stage 2. There we go. Logano gets 2nd. 3rd will be Larson. Oh, okay. Average finish at Talladega. I'm not sure if that's accurate either because, well, I guess if you're talking about only active full-time Cup drivers, because Anthony Alfredo, I believe, I think I saw on the graphic earlier, he has a 13.0 average finish at Talladega. Or maybe that was drafting tracks in general, just the average finish at drafting tracks overall. But there we go. Ended up leaving Kyle Busch in my garage because he's been a little off today, but there we go. Other things that could earn me some more points would be if Bowen can finish ahead of Cindric, if Larson can finish behind Chastain, and then Logano and Noah Gragson need to just keep doing what they're doing and finishing ahead of the two RCR cars. So there we go. Alright, there we go. We are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, looking up at the poll, which we have for off-week pre-recorded content because I'm... Okay, your garage is Ryan Blaney. Yep, I feel like that's the garage for most everybody, but yeah. So, again, for anyone who hasn't been around the chat for the last little bit, I will not be home this weekend for the Texas Motor Speedway weekend, but I do have, obviously, I know about the fact that I'm not going to be here, so I'm going to try and get a couple, probably 2 or 3 videos pre-recorded, so I've got that poll going for you guys to go ahead and vote on what kinds of videos you guys would like to see me try and fill in a situation where I can't pre-record or where I can't record as it's happening, because I'd love to record a NASCAR news video, get back into the NASCAR news videos that I used to do a lot of, but yeah, those don't really work for a pre-recorded because any news thing that I come up with will probably either be out of date or at least old by the time I'm posting it. So there we go. Indianapolis 500, May 25th. All right. So May 25th is Memorial Day weekend. Blaney this season does not look good in the points. He's 12th in points, or not 12th in points. He's 6th in points. I mean, yeah, he's not he's not like in regular season championship contention, at least not at the moment, but he's inside the top 5, or right on the cusp of the top 5, currently in 6th place. But, yeah, Blaney is doing better than I would say, but yeah, here we go. Joseph Newgarden looking for 3 in a row, for 3 Indy 500s in a row after winning the last 2. I seriously hope he doesn't. Do you have a computer with NASCAR E5? No, all my NASCAR E5 stuff that I've done is, all the NASCAR E5 stuff that I've done is on the Xbox, typically is where I've been racing, but, my recording room back in, late October got flooded, so I haven't had access to my Xbox since then. So that and my wheel and pedal also haven't been available since then. So that's why you haven't seen a lot of Heat 5 content and why Heat 5 videos aren't on that list, because I just can't do them at the moment. But yeah, so iRacing Virtual Races tier list videos, those seem to be the 2 top ones. So yeah, there we go. Oh, the Cars mod. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of modded video games. I mean, even Minecraft, I'm not the biggest fan of mods, so. But, yeah, here we go. Who's out of the race? All right, let's go ahead and go through the list, because there's a few of them. So, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher. I believe all of them are out of the race. BJ McLeod, 51 laps down. Might as well be out of the race if he isn't officially. But those are all the guys that are more than 1 lap down. And again, everybody except for BJ McLeod I know is out of the race. The only reason I don't know if McLeod's out of the race is because I could believe him being 51 laps down. Do I have Draft Masters 2? Never heard of it. But yeah. so 66 laps to go. We got ourselves this final stage is going to be a fun one, hopefully. Again, they can just about make it on one tank of fuel. We've got 49 lead changes. You know what? Let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and throw the lead change graphic up on the thing. Give me a moment. Alright, browser. Boom. Boom. And oh, no, not that one. Trying to interact with the other browser. Alright, do we not have Alright, let's see if we can make this wider. Properties, let's see. There we go. There's the lead changes that I was looking for. Alright, there we go. Get the lead change counter up. Boom. There we go, lead change counter. Alright, there we go. Yaley was in front as they were cycling through pit stops. That's pretty normal to see on the leaderboard. NASCAR mobile game is pretty fun. Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good. But yeah, how's Yaley in front? I kind of already answered that. He came in for a pit stop after that. I can't believe Anthony Alfredo's doing well. Hey, he's a pretty good driver, and that car, I mean, remember Brendan Gaughan in that car was able to compete really well in the Talladega races a few years ago. So, I mean, it's not all that surprising to see you put a competent driver in a really fast car, and they're able to go ahead and run really well here, so... But, yeah, so, alright, yeah, NASCAR mobile games, for me, the game I play when it comes to NASCAR mobile games is the NASCAR Manager game, which I don't even think is still available on the App Store, but because I've had it downloaded, yeah, so I play the this thing, it has, like, the 2015 season, is what you can play through with that roster. You can do a career mode, you can do single season. In fact, I'm actually in the middle of a Kentucky in the middle of a Kentucky race on a Bobby Labonte season that I'm doing over there. So, what's the record for lead changes? Let me double check to make sure I'm not mistaken. I believe it is 79 at Talladega. Here we go. Let's see. They're going through the race. All right, here we go. So, '88. So 88 is the record, and it was held at the, and that was at the spring race last year. So yeah, so last year the record was set at 88. So we've got a little ways to go, but we're not far here. Let's see. You could use Kyle Larson ever race. You could use Kyle Larson ever race. I'm not really sure what you're trying to say. Yeah, we're getting really close. Yeah, I mean, we definitely need to keep up the lead changes if we, we need to keep going with the lead changes at the same pace. But yeah, as I say, we've had quite a few of them. So Ty Gibbs, Briscoe on the front row for the restart. Hamlin, Herbst, row 2. Row 3, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson. Zane Smith and Logano, row 4. Gilliland and Reddick, row 5 for the restart. And here we go. What happened on the pit road? Let's see. Most of our team comes into the pits. And, Josh Berry, a glancing blow with a Carson Hocevar crew member on pit road. That is really sketchy to see. But yeah, if you guys want to see gameplay of that game, the unfortunate thing is I'd have to try and figure out how to record mobile gameplay, and more specifically how to record audio when I'm doing mobile gameplay. But it's a game I enjoy playing. It's one of my favorite travel games. Like if I'm riding a bus to somewhere, or if I'm it's something I don't really need I don't need Wi-Fi for. So if I'm on a long trip and I'm not the driver, I can pop that up and play that. So for mobile games, at least, that's one of my favorites. So there we go. We're doubled up, ready to go back racing. Pace car will be pulling off towards pit road here at the end of this lap. So let's see what we got. Oh. Lead changes thing. Come on. Let's heal a little bit more there. There we go. All right, here we go. Pace car is off. Green, green, green. Green flag is out. We are back to racing. We got, again, the 54 on the inside, the 19er Briscoe on the outside. Herbst and Hamlin trying to make this work as well. Again, the question is going to be, though, as we get further and further into this one, how far can they go and on the fuel, and are we gonna see another thing like at the end of the first stage where one manufacturer basically lines up and dominates the front, where it isn't really a lead change one? Or could we see something like what we saw in stage 2, where the manufacturers were all shuffled up, so there was really no working together, and we saw a lot of lead changes in the second stage? So curious to see how that ends up going, but we'll keep an eye on that lead change counter throughout the race. There we go. Logano already popping out of line, looking to try and find a way around some of these guys. Riley Herbst up to the top to block the 22 here. My prediction of Cindric flipping is not going well. Yeah, nope, he is. He's flying up to the top line here. He's the third car in line on the top. Here we go. Briscoe up to the top to block Logano. Logano, he's moved his way all the way up into the second position here for Logano. But now they are 3 wide behind Briscoe. The 54 of Ty Gibbs now alongside Briscoe for the lead. Ty Gibbs might even lead the lap here over Chase Briscoe as they come down through the tri-oval, and it certainly looks like it might be it's going to be Ty Gibbs leading the lap. There we go. So Ty Gibbs leads for at least a lap, and then there we go. Yet another lead change. So we're up to 53. Wow. We are climbing the lead changes here. So they're talking with the pit crew member who had that glancing blow. Again, glad to see he's okay. You never want to see drivers getting hit, or drivers hitting pit crew members. I mean, those pit crew members are in about as defenseless a position as they possibly could there. So, yep, there we go. And here comes Briscoe on the outside. Briscoe trying to get that run down the straightaway here, they're showing that glancing blow yet again. And again, hopefully, you just hope that guys like that are going to be okay. And looks like in this case that he is, and he'll be going and doing the next pit stop later. But here we go again. Briscoe out in front of the field. He's taking back the spot from Gibbs. So again, it's been a bit of a back and forth here. So they're going through all the guys who are out of the race right now. Yeah, we know Christopher Bell. We know Keselowski. We know Blaney. So there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. We got 14 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that has decided to spend a portion of your very valuable time here with us. We are getting ready for this one. Alright, so there we go. Alright, up to 54 lead changes as car number 54 retakes the lead. Alright. Gibbs winning would be a pretty stupid winner. Again, I mean, if your idea of a pretty stupid winner is someone who isn't from Hendrick, Penske, or Denny Hamlin, or Christopher Bell, because like those are about the only, because those are your championship contenders. I mean, yeah, there's bound to be plenty of quote-unquote stupid winners. Ty Gibbs has raced really well, though, yeah, especially this last month or so. The crew chief change definitely seems to be helping, and I think he's getting his first win sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of whether it happens today or at a different racetrack. Because would love to see his first win come at a more legitimate racetrack than being seen as the Talladega guy. But it's not like Ty Gibbs can't perform at those other tracks. Again, we just gotta wait and see him. But oh, okay. Stupid winner as in someone you just don't really like. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, because Ty Gibbs, if you're saying Ty Gibbs is a stupid winner, because like saying, yeah, guys like Stenhouse, like, yeah, they're not really championship contenders, but they are, yeah. But then Ty Gibbs, I think he's legitimately a playoff contender this year. So, but yeah, Logano, Gibbs, Elliott. All right. Well. Yeah, when we get back to streaming some of these races with my dad, he might want to fight you about the claim that Gibbs would be a stupid winner. But hey, I think we can at least agree on, if we can agree on one thing, it is that Logano definitely is a stupid winner. Don't want to see him win. Nope. But here we go. 133 laps in, 88 to go, about 55 laps remaining here. So there we go. Alright, well, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so stage points today. Again, Kyle Larson up there. Bubba Wallace up there. Shocking surprise that, again, see that again commercial? Okay, yeah, I didn't hear what the commercial said, and I was trying to get the thing synced up for the potential race, for the replay reaction, but I wouldn't put it past the ads getting something wrong. But yeah, so here we go. Say Ty Gibbs the first 6 races versus his last month. Went from a 25.7 average finish to an 8.3. I mean, that's, so that is clear as day and very big improvement. Oh, the thing I was saying got cut by a commercial? Okay, but yeah. No, I think the thing that I was probably saying at that point was I was talking about Gibbs being a real contender for this year's playoffs, is probably what I was saying. Because I think Ty Gibbs could be a real contender for this year's playoffs. Yeah, no, he wasn't part of the playoff picture last year. But yeah, so 21 leaders, 54 lead changes, 32 cars on the lead lap. So yeah, here we go. Let's see. Oh, contact there, Alfredo and Tyler Reddick with some contact in the back there. We're only 17 laps into this stage, so we're a long ways off from pit stops, but we're not really even in the window. Like, we're not even in a window where you could pit early to try and get there. Alright, so again, right now, 5 Toyotas controlling the front of the field. Then you've got 5 Fords, really, with Cody Ware right there as well. And then you've got a Chevy pack behind that. So all the manufacturers are kind of shuffled in here. Herbst is a wacky winner. Yeah, if he was to win this thing, absolutely it would be a wacky winner. But here come the Fords up on the outside. Gilliland, Logano coming on here. We got Zane Smith as well in the line. Again, those Fords all grouped up together. Kyle Larson came with them as well, up into the 4th place on the outside line. But yeah, again, right now would be a great time for a yellow flag to go ahead and just shake up everything, especially because we're just outside the window to make it to the end of the race on fuel. All right, so 49 laps to go. Time is ticking here. All right, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Let's see. In your opinion, when do you think Busch will retire from full-time racing? That's an interesting one. So let's see. How old is Kyle Busch? I think that will play into a factor here. I think he's what, 37 now? He's 39, so I could see him racing till about 43, 44, kind of around the same time that Hamlin, Harvick all kind of consider retiring, although Hamlin hasn't actually retired yet, but like Harvick, Truex all retired in that range, so Yeah, been full-time since '07. Been full-time since '05. '05. Because he had 3 years at the Hendrick team, and then he went and made the move to Gibbs for the 2008 season. So there we go. 47 laps to go. This one is definitely starting to drag just a little bit, but we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. Hamlin, I think, started racing in '06, if I'm not mistaken. He's been in the FedEx car, I think, since '06. But yeah, here we go. Let's see. Everybody's been on there. Let's say fuel remaining with laps run. Okay. 20. Most everybody's at 20 laps on their fuel, so we'll have to wait and see how that ends up developing here. Leffler was in it in '05, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Go Gibbs Racing. Cup Series. Cars. Alright, so in 2004, it was split between Craven and Yaley. Then in '05, it was split between Leffler, Labonte, Yaley, and Denny Hamlin took it over in late 2005. And then 2006 was when Denny Hamlin came in full time. So from the fall Kansas race onward, Denny Hamlin started racing the 11 full time in fall of 2005. 2006 being his first full rookie season, where he finished third in the final season points. So, yep. So, alright, so here we go. 145 laps out of. So we got about 40 laps to go here. If we get another caution, then that would be the time where everybody would make their final pit stops. Alright, so there we go. So this is his 20th year. Yeah, technically, because again, his first Cup race was in the fall Kansas race of 2005. Yeah, so on October 9th of 2005, that would mark the thing. It would be crazy if Hamlin missed the fall Kansas race. Why would he? Are you talking about the one back in '05, or are you talking about the one this year? Because, I mean, outside of the beef with NASCAR and on the legal side of things, I don't know why he would miss the race. Because he can't fail to qualify because he's in a chartered car now. Charters didn't exist back then, which was nice, but yep, here we go. This year, yeah, again, unless he's out with injury, I don't know why he would miss the fall race. And let me see. Something else that would be funny would be if the Kansas race were on the same day. Nope, Fall Kansas is about a week earlier, so it's about one round off. Yeah, injuries are possible. I'm not ruling out that possibility. It's just that injuries don't happen very often. Yeah, it could happen, but it's also very possible that he just doesn't, or that he doesn't end up injured. Yeah, so here we go. Kyle Busch re-enters the top 10. There we go. Kyle Busch finding his way back to the top 10 here. He's got a lot of tape on that front end though, and I wouldn't trust him to be leading the lane if he was gonna try and lead a charge to the front. I think he's the kind of car that he might be a good pusher, but I don't think he's gonna have any real speed if he's the lead car in the draft. All right, so there we go. Michael McDowell takes the fastest lap award. Let's go. All right, Michael McDowell gets the fastest lap point. Let's do. All right, so again, right now, Gibbs, Hamlin, Herbst, none of them are really worried about that. Let's see. Oh, nice. Gateway's near you. Might go to that race. All right, cool. Yeah, I've already got my 2 races planned out for the year. I'm going to be at Bristol, and then I will be at New Hampshire in back-to-back weeks for the playoffs. So there we go. I got a buddy who's actually at who's down at the Talladega race right now. But yeah, Talladega is a track I would love to see. Again? Yeah, I'm going to Bristol again. Yeah, Bristol, New Hampshire. Back-to-back weeks. And, oh, wow. Big push here from Zane Smith. Yikes. Big push all over the back bumper of Logano. So, yeah, Bristol's one I go to a lot. I've got a lot of friends who make that trip down for the Bristol night race each year, so. Yep, there we go. 38 laps to go. So again, at any point, guys could start peeling off the pit road here. And saying, if I'm a manufacturer of cars that really hasn't had a lot of success today, although I think all 3 manufacturers have actually had a strangely even amount of success outside of the Toyotas kind of dominating the second half here. Because, yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah, I remember the Newman crash. That was back in 2020 before we knew how bad 2020 was going to be for a year. Yep, I remember it. And then, what was it, 2 days later, he walks out the hospital, which was a great thing to see. Alright, so there we go. We got 13 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's decided to spend a portion of your very valuable Sunday here with us. Stenhouse breaking up into that top 10 conversation as well here. But yeah, here we go. Alfredo hanging around the top 15 as well. Yeah, Ryan Blaney was out really early today. He was involved in that caution with the 6 and the 8. Alright, so here we go. Again, we're working our way through this one. Let's see. But yeah, I can't wait for Bristol. Hopefully we'll have some stuff I can announce here in the coming months about that. Because I got some things in the works for that one. But yeah, there we go. And now they're showing some greatest hits of the big one at Talladega. And yeah, there are some crazy big ones. So there we go. Alright. so there we go. You know, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright. Japanese cars are destroying right now. Yep. Well, I mean, the Toyotas. Yeah, Toyotas are definitely owning the field right now. They should bring back Crank It Up. They have the Crank It Up segment. I'm pretty sure they do. They just only do it like once, maybe twice a race. So, but yeah. Alright, well, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go. I spontaneously live near 5 tracks. Yeah, I wish I had that. I'm a 3-hour drive from New Hampshire for my closest racetrack. Then it's another like hour and a half to get to from there to get to Watkins Glen, which I would love to go to a Watkins Glen race sometime. Then we got for other tracks, it's like Pocono. I'm even further from, but that's still one of my nearest tracks. Yeah. Wish I lived closer to some racetracks, but speaking of living close to racetracks, I actually meant to look up this week to see what my local racetrack is doing this year. Let's see. All right. All right, they're working on putting together the track there. There we go. All right, so they're working on putting the track together, but because it's a dirt track and because we've had a lot of wet stuff, whether it's been snow, rain, or other stuff. Let's see. Gateway is your closest, like an hour. Okay, yeah. Gateway, Bristol, Nashville, Iowa, and Kansas. Yep, that's a lot of tracks near you. Kentucky would be pretty close too if they were to go back to Kentucky. 30 laps to go this time by. 30 laps to go. We're working our way through this one though. But yeah, once the local track opens back up, I can't wait to be over there a lot of nights. If you guys like in-person dirt track streams, feel free to let me know because I will definitely be out at the dirt track a lot. Yeah. So yeah, got a local dirt track that I really like going to and would love to stream some more from there. So if you guys appreciate seeing some of those, yeah, we'll be hopefully doing some more of those later this summer. Yeah, well, I mean, as I say, the Toyotas as a whole are kind of all just holding that bottom line, but here comes the Fords. Logano, Zane Smith, we got the 47 of Stenhouse giving a good push as well. But yeah, that bottom line is just kind of controlling the front of the field. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about at this track when it's like this. Like, what happened to the 4 wide mayhem that we had earlier, where we were literally 4 wide throughout the entire field? Like, come on, let's see some more of that. But yeah, so we got the All-Star race coming up next month. That'll be fun. Hoping to be back down in the new studio here soon. All right, so lap 160 here. 28 laps to go. 28 to go here. And we are, again, all right, let's see. Oh, nice. All right, so there we go. We got Nemechek currently down a lap. John Nemechek currently down 1 lap after that spin that we saw earlier. He's now giving a good push here to the back bumper of Chase Briscoe, who's currently in 7th place. So yeah, NHRA coming up later tonight. I might watch that on the side, but yeah, this race has been a little. The super speedways have been kind of weird. I feel like there definitely is not nearly as much momentum as there was in the previous gen, in the late Gen 6 car. But it also just does not. Like the beginning, if we could get them to race like they did at the beginning, the entire way through, this race would be great. And here we go. Big push. Zane Smith pushes Logano to the lead. Logano to the lead. And there we go. Joey Logano has gotten back out in front of the field. And now he's got no help behind him, though, because he's got all those Toyotas that are going to be looking to shuffle him out of line. But here comes the Fords that he was working with. Yep, there we go. Up to the top of the field here. So here we go. Average of the last caution, lap 169, 19 laps to go. 2 overtime finishes in the next gen era with the Talladega races. So we would expect the next caution, with the final caution, to come sometime in the next 7 to 10 laps. So there we go. Kind of want a title win right now, yep. So there we go. There goes Joey Logano out in front of the field. Now, again, we know all these drivers are going to have to pit within about 5 to 7 laps as well, which is kind of ironic timing that they're going to need to pit about 2 to 3 laps before the average of the last caution coming out. There we go again. Ty Gibbs trying to get back to that front, but here comes Zane Smith on the top side. Zane Smith with a push from Cole Custer here. Custer going to give Zane Smith the nose out ahead. I don't know if it'll be enough because Ty Gibbs all over the back bumper of the 22 is going to keep Logano out in front of the field, it looks like. There we go. Here comes the big push. Trying to get these guys to give some good pushes. And oh! There goes half the field popping down the pit road. Half the field coming down the pit road here. Looks like all the Toyotas and a bunch of other stragglers kind of popping on in. I see Anthony Alfredo in there. I saw Michael McDowell down there. Alright, the 19 of Briscoe getting filled up here, and as they get ready to re-enter the racetrack, let's see how it all is going to shake out here. Oh, the 77 of Hodes are able to jump the rest of them on pit road with a really short pit stop. But yeah, so again, right now, last time one of my favorite drivers won it was Harrison Burton. That was one of the last times my favorite driver didn't win. He came up second. Kyle Busch coming up second in that race. But yep. So here we go. The battle at the front of the field. You got Barry on the outside, Joey Logano on the inside. Everybody just kind of chilling out here. Hopefully we can get this one all the way to the checkers without any additional trouble, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so 23 laps to go here. Again, time is going to be of the essence here, and it's going to be about how efficiently can this big group of cars come on and off pit road. If they can get on and off pit road in a efficient manner, I think there's a good chance that they can rally. But if they either are slow or sloppy getting on and off pit road, or if they split into two groups, like I would expect them to probably do, then we might be in a weird spot. Alright, so there we go. 22 laps to go. 22 to go. Oh, Busch is in the top 10. Yep. Kyle Busch up to 5th here. All right, let's see. What kind of lap times are Hocevar and the others running last lap? So there we go. So 49.6. Leaders are running 49.5, 49.6. So there's virtually no drop off in lap time from one to the other. Alright, so here we go. Ty Dillon goes out to the lead and then hands it right on over to Josh Berry. Berry takes the lead here as Ryan Preece in behind him is going to be looking for a spot here as well. Alright, so there we go. Again, Josh Berry. Oh, I say, did Josh Berry force the 10 below the line? I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and hope that NASCAR opts not to look into that one, because that one looked close enough that there could be a little bit of a look into that, but. Alright, so yeah, right now we got this one going. Barry out in front of the field. Ty Dillon, Ryan Preece, Logano, and Busch. And again, they are not catching the. They're not really catching the pack in front of them. Hocevar and his pack are running right about the same lap times, if not maybe even a little bit quicker on some laps. And that's just because the Hocevar line is that. They have completely unified into one line rather than being two separate lines, that are constantly going back and forth, side drafting each other. So, yeah, that is going to be one of those things that will help Hocevar and the others in the end here if they can get this one to cycle around green flag all the way. But something tells me that green flag all the way will be a lot easier said than done. Alright, so 19 laps to go. What are we going to see here? Alright, let's see. Gonna pull chat back up because I didn't have chat there for a second. Let's see. Who has the highest speed on the board? Are you talking about fastest lap, or are you talking about actual, like, this most recent lap speed? Because those are two very different things. I like Barry as well, but not on SVG and Busch level. Can't wait for NZCO's video of this race. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Here comes a batch of cars going to pit road. Ty Dillon leads them down. We got Joey Logano coming as well. Kind of surprised that since Joey Logano came, why didn't Cindric and Barry? Alright, so there we go. Gillen finds his pit box. Everybody else finding theirs. And alright, so there we go. On and off pit road, nice and easily. Now the question is, where will they blend? Will they blend up ahead of the group that's been on the track? Here they come. I'm going to say the host of our group is going to be coming here. Next to fastest lap. Okay, yeah, Allmendinger had the fastest lap for a while. Here we go. Now here comes another batch of cars coming down pit road. This one's got Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. a part of it. I believe, I think McDowell was already part of one of the earlier ones. And, oh, Carson Hocevar threading the needle through the traffic as the traffic tries to blend in front of him. Because he knows he can't hold up behind the cars if he wants to try and pass them. So here we go, coming up on this group. You gotta get a run. You're gonna need some draft here. So here comes the new group off the pit road. It's gonna be a tough one as well. Here we go. 16 laps to go. We're getting through this one. Let's see. I didn't see Byron all race till now. Yeah, he's been pretty quietly. And no! Kyle Busch speeding on pit road. No! Kyle Busch and Josh Berry both busted for speeding on pit road, and here they come for their pass-through penalty. Yep. Well, there goes Kyle Busch's day. If there was anything left to salvage from it, there it goes. The one good thing to salvage from it is that he isn't in my lineup. He's filling my garage slot. The moment, let's see. Quick update on the points. Let's see. I am in 7th. Yikes. Oh, because I had Josh Berry too. Yikes. I didn't even think about the fact that I had Josh Berry as well. Alright, I need that caution. I need that final caution to come out. Re-rack the field. Alright, so here we go. Cindric, Byron, Larson, Bowman. Come on. Let's just see a really random caution. Come on. But yeah, there we go. I just wanted to not be Logano. Yeah. I feel you there. Alright, so there we go. We got this one chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's see. Speeding penalties are kind of strange. I mean, kind of makes sense, but I mean, if you didn't enforce a speeding penalty, say people would be flying down pit road and we'd have pit crew members getting really seriously hurt. Alright, there we go. We are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We are up to 62 lead changes. I don't even think we could mathematically get to 88 that we had earlier. But yeah. I have no idea who you're talking about is in the top 10. Most of the speed penalties aren't even speeding. What do you mean the speeding penalties aren't speeding? I mean, I know they have a 5-mile-an-hour tolerance usually, so they can be 5 miles over the speed limit, technically, before they're actually speeding. But yeah, okay, Ty Dillon, okay. Alright, so there we go. The big move there is Larson, or not Larson, Hocevar threading the needle through the lap traffic here. Although Hocevar only up into the 10th spot so far. He's going to have a long way to go still if he wants to try and change this one around. Alright, so there we go. And we're just chilling out here. 10 laps to go at Talladega. 10 more times. Let's see. Byron has a nose out ahead. Cindric now with a nose. Again, these two drivers going to be going back and forth trying to get this one. Cindric he could have cleared himself up to the top line and taken that spot from Byron, but right now, Byron surging back on the outside. Cindric currently in first. Alright, here we go. Again, 10 laps to go. All the time is ticking here. Let's see. Spindrick can. Top two. Yep. Here we go. Again, Ryan Preece up on the side of the top 5 as well. There we go. There's a fun guy to talk about there. Looks like they're getting ready to send us to a commercial break. At least it's a side-by-side, so we can at least see the racing going on between them here. Alright, so 9 laps to go. Again, we're just working our way through this one. Let's see. He wants his revenge. Yep, well, here we go. Again, Preece up inside the top 5. That would be a really cool one to see. A Ryan Preece race one would be a cool one to see. As I would love to see a Michael McDowell win too. Is that wearing repping the 71 hat? But yeah, I think a race win. I think a race win for McDowell would be pretty cool in the 71 car. Alright, so there we go. Byron out in front of Cindric this time. Nope, they're right back side by side here. Alright, 7 laps to go. Come on. 7 laps to go here. Definitely feels like a little bit of a slow race here, but we'll have to wait and see if something can change here in the last couple of laps here. I know up inside the top 10, that's something to talk about. Alright, so 6 laps to go. Yeah, we're still at side by side here. Come on, we better be getting back from. Come on, we better be getting back to full screen for the final 5 laps. But here we go, Priest. Yep, Priest around the outside, looking for the lead. Ryan Priest to the race lead. Imagine if Ryan Priest is able to win this one and punch his ticket to the playoffs. Let's go, Priest. Come on, Priest. On the top of the racetrack. I think everybody's rooting for Ryan Priest today. I'm certainly not rooting for Spindrick. So here we go. Come on, Ryan Priest. Up to the outside line. 5 laps to go. Alright, 5 laps to go. William Byron, Larson trying to make something happen. That'd be silly. Yep. So here we go. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there from the 2, but here we go. The 24 giving it a nice push. Alright, so here we go. 4 laps to go. 4 more times around. We're closing in on the end of this one. It's going to be a Cindric versus Priest battle. I'm curious to see when we start to see some of these other drivers starting to make these desperate moves. Byron's in the mix. He's got some teammates around as well that might join him on those desperation moves. Then we got the front row motorsports cars. You got 2 of the 3 of them in the outside lane together. And in fact, all 3 of them are in the... So 4 laps to go. 4 more times around. Yeah, we're closing in on the end of this one. It's just a question of, do we have anything silly happen down the stretch here? Alright, there we go. Got that all set up. We are ready for this one. Let's go. Alright, so Ryan Priest out in front. He's got a nose out ahead with 3 laps to go. Let's see. Talladega race, new and blue attire, and got hit by Priest and hit the inside wall. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ryan on Ryan violence. And here we go. The crowd is on their feet. 2 laps to go, and the 2 car surges back ahead as Austin Cindric to the lead here. 2 laps to go. 2 more times around. Ryan Priest inching his car just ahead of the 2. This is going to be an interesting one if we can get one of those 2 to victory lane. A new winner on the horizon with all the Hendrick cars right behind him. Larson, Byron, Bowman, all piled up there. Even Chase Elliott inside the top 5. And here we go, coming down the finish. 2 laps to go. 2 more times around. Let's see. Austin Cindric out in front of the field. The push, not really a very well organized push on the top line here for Priest. And here we go. A push to Cindric from Larson. Byron really not willing to commit to a push here. White flag, 1 lap to go. 1 more time around. And let's see. Here we go. Priest on the outside. He's got a nose out ahead. Ty Dillon looks to have run out of gas. Ty Dillon completely disappears as coming down the back straightaway. Let's see. What's it going to be? Nose to nose, tail to tail, door to door. The 2 of Cindric out in front of the field. Cindric has a nose to the lead. Who's it going to be? Cindric versus... oh, we got lap traffic here. Lap traffic that might interfere with the finish of the race. Ryan Priest on the top side. Contact behind. And the push, it's going to come down to a matter of inches. Cindric wins the race. Austin Cindric takes it over Ryan Priest in a photo finish. No. Ah, man. Love it for Cindric because that will get him to the for the playoffs. But man, I wanted to see Ryan Preece get that one so bad. And yep, there we go. By a matter of about a foot and a half, yeah, the 2 car beats the 60 to the finish. Kyle Larson third, fourth William Byron, fifth will be Joey Logano, sixth Noah Gragson, seventh Elliott, eighth Hocevar, ninth Bowman, and rounding out the top 10 today will be Bubba Wallace. So again, if you guys come for just the race recaps, that will be the end of the recap. But if you guys are new here, we'll go through the entire finishing order, as well on the way, before we end off the stream. So here we go. So let's go ahead and get the top finishers over there, at least in some way. But yeah, just looking at the pushes down the back straightaway. Byron was not committing, and neither was Bowman. Neither Byron or Bowman were really committing to pushing the 60 car. I mean, certainly not early enough. And then the lap traffic really kind of threw a wrench into all that. But yeah, so there we go. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's had a good time with this one. It's been the same 13 of us the whole way. Hopefully, but yeah, we are currently sitting 12 subscribers away from the 12 subscribers away from the big 3K number. So again, I will not be around next weekend for the Texas race. So based on this, it seems like you guys want iRacing virtual races and tier list ranking / tier list videos. So I'll try and put together a couple of videos for the off time, but again, as per usual, we'll go through the full finishing results. So, but thank you guys for watching. If you guys did just come for the race recap, I will see you guys in 2 weeks from whatever track do they go to next after Texas. It's Kansas, so I'll see you guys at the Kansas race if you guys don't tune in for any of the pre-recorded content, but you guys should tune in for the pre-recorded content. We've had some cool stuff. We got to interview a NASCAR Truck Series driver, Stephen Malazzi, a couple weeks ago. That was a really cool video, and again, we'll have some pre-recorded content coming this weekend for you guys as well. So, Austin Cindric first, second was Ryan Preece, third Larson. We kind of already went through most of these. Fourth is William Byron, fifth Joey Logano, sixth Noah Gragson. Seventh was Elliott in the Amazon Prime car as they get ready for their May to June stretch of races. Hocevar, Bowman, and Bubba Wallace round out your top 10. Suarez coming home in the 11th position. Good finish for Daniel Suarez. Austin Dillon comes home in the 12th position. 13th for Michael McDowell. Fastest lap of the day for car number 71. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 14th, and rounding out your top 15 is Cole Custer. Tyler Reddick 16th, 17th is Chase Briscoe, 18th Todd Gilliland, 19th is where we find Ty Gibbs, and rounding out your top 20 finishers tonight will be Eric Jones. Zane Smith comes home in the 21st position after sitting on the pole position. 22nd will be Ross Chastain, 23rd Denny Hamlin, 24th Riley Herbst, and rounding out the top 25 will be Ty Dillon. 26th is where we find AJ Allmendinger. Justin Haley comes home 27th, 28th for Anthony Alfredo, 29th Josh Berry, and rounding out your top 30 is Kyle Busch. Hashtag turn William Byron upside down. Let's not turn William Byron upside down, at least not literally. But yeah. Alright, so there we go. Welcome on in. We got Shane Van Gisbergen coming home 31st. Alright, not bad there. John Hunter Nemechek coming home in the 32nd position. Cody Ware 33rd. JJ Yaley comes home in the 34th position. And a lot of drivers finished this race on the racetrack. Only 5 drivers ended up DNFing. BJ McLeod 35th, the first, the final DNF that we got of the day. Then we had Buescher and Bell who wrecked together. Buescher in 36th place, and Bell will be scored 37th. 38th for Brad Keselowski, and rounding out the 39-car field today with Ryan Blaney. So that is the full finishing order. Again, massive congratulations to Austin Cindric on the race win. they're going to talk to Ryan Preece, and this is an interview I want to be able to read the subtitles on, so give me a second. So here we go. Best career finish at Talladega after he got his previous career best Cup finish was a third place at Talladega in 2019. So here we go. All right, I felt like I needed a check. I'm in the race car. I need a little bits that are on the go-karts. Okay, I have no idea what he's saying. I'll have to rewatch this later. Felt it coming through. Trial run. All sticking together, and it was one leaving me. Which I didn't have to pull them up. You got RFK, Roger, and their partners. Okay, yep. Love seeing that. Without this opportunity, he's a driver, again, I really want to see do well. One, because I think he really needs good finishes. Like, Cindric could get average finishes the rest of his career and still be good. But Ryan Preece desperately needs good finishes to keep earning the funding and being able to potentially solidify that ride for years to come. So, there we go. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Penske. Yep, Penske got the win. First win of the year for the in-house Penske team, I believe, because I don't think Blaney's won a race yet this year, and I know Logano hadn't. Yeah, so the first win for the in-house Penske team, and it's so literally the first win all year for Penske, and it comes at the hands of the number 2 driver, Austin Cindric. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this live stream. If you guys did enjoy this one, feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Again, I will not be around next weekend, but as you guys have voted on iRacing virtual races and ranking tier list videos, I will probably try and get at least one of each, if not 2 of each done. So, please check in on my Twitter. Link is in the description at RyanDyer99 over there. That is probably where I will have polls to help decide like what I'm ranking or what I'm doing for the virtual races for the pre-recorded videos this weekend. So again, keep an eye over on my Twitter over the next 2 days or so. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys next video. Live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody.